In today's review, we're going to look at Grammarly and ProWritingAid, two of the most popular grammar and writing tools. I'll compare their features side by side with demos. First, we'll look at both of their web editors. Grammarly's web editor can be accessed on app.grammarly.com, and you can upload documents or create a new document within their browser editor. It will give real-time suggestions. In this case, there are 53 suggestions for this article in Grammarly Premium. I can select any of the suggestions and either rewrite for clarity or choose to fix the issue. And I can also update all of the issues that have been identified if I want to. As you can see, this editor is very self-explanatory and extremely simple to use. As you go along, you have a score in the upper right that is constantly updating. So it started out in the mid 70s, now it's up to 80. You also have various indicators for correctness, clarity, engagement, etc. And you can even open up an overall report that shows you your score and other key statistics about your text. The ProWritingAid web editor is built right into their website. Once you log into their website, the web editor allows you to create new documents as well as just copy and paste text that you have and that you want to check. You can also upload a document or view samples. There's a lot of other options available at the top. We'll get into some of them in a minute. As you can see here, once you've copied and pasted an article in or uploaded it, ProWritingAid starts to give you suggestions about your writing, focusing on grammar, spelling, rewrites, etc. You can scroll through all the different scores that they give you on the right side, such as for grammar and spelling, style, sentence length, etc., to get an overall view of what your writing looks like. You can also view an overall score for different aspects of your writing. Clicking on any of these scores opens up specific issues that ProWritingAid has identified within your text so that you can go in and update the text. You can also just click on the specific issues and update them from within these windows. We'll compare the plagiarism detection tools next, which is helpful if you have writers writing for you. In Grammarly, this is accessed by clicking on plagiarism in the bottom right. As you can see, 1% of the text matches other sources, 98% of it matches the article that I've actually published on one of my websites. So very accurate. Of course, there's almost 98% of the articles copied. ProWritingAid also has a plagiarism checker when you pay for the Plus version of Premium. However, it's not as accurate as Grammarly. As you can see here, it doesn't even identify the article that's already been published that includes 98+% of the text. Next, I'll talk about how Grammarly and ProWritingAid integrate with browsers. Grammarly is able to integrate with many forms across the internet in Google Chrome, including Google Docs, as shown here, or Gmail, and many other forms. All you have to do is hover over issues or click on the Grammarly icon in the bottom right to see all possible issues that Grammarly has identified. You can also filter on specific issues related to correctness, clarity, or other categories. Grammarly also integrates really well with Gmail. All you have to do is start drafting your email, and Grammarly start correcting and identifying issues as you type. You can also see more by clicking on the Grammarly icon at the bottom right, or you can just change the issues in line. Grammarly also has an autocorrect feature. So if you're typing, it may automatically correct some common typos or spelling issues, depending on if it can recognize them. But Grammarly makes it really easy to craft exceptional emails. One of the cool features also is Grammarly's tone detector, which lets you see how an email will likely appear to the recipients. So in this case, this email comes across friendly, joyful, and appreciative. There are several browser plugins for ProWritingAid. The first one is the basic Chrome plugin, which if you have it installed, you go to any forum online, including Google Docs, you will see content underlined. However, to get the improved experience for Google Docs, you have to install a specific Google Docs plugin, which will allow you to see the widget in the bottom right for ProWritingAid and allow you to access a lot of the other scores and details that the web editor provides. This is not 100% necessary if you want. The basic Chrome plugin is good enough. As you can see here, when you install the basic Chrome plugin, you also get suggestions in email and all sorts of other forms online. And you can correct everything inline or click on the widget in the bottom right again to see more details. Like Grammarly, ProWritingAid's Chrome plugin can also work with Gmail and other email clients, along with many other forms. This way you can edit your text inline and make changes and updates. The widget is also enabled within Gmail, so you can go in and see goals and other improvements and make changes on the fly. One of the great features about the Chrome plugin is the spam phrase count, so that you can see how readers are likely to respond to your emails. Next, I'll discuss Grammarly and ProWritingAid's integrations with Word. Many people use Microsoft Word for writing, and Grammarly has a great plugin that works with Microsoft Word. Just click the icon in the bottom right of Microsoft Word, and Grammarly pops up with suggestions. Unfortunately, the newer version of Grammarly doesn't have a sidebar that shows you overall score and all issues, but it works pretty well for most use cases. Like Grammarly, ProWritingAid's Word integration looks very similar to the web editor. You see basically the same interface here as you do with the web editor, with all the suggestions on the right sidebar. You also have the plagiarism checker, as before, which will check for plagiarized content. And overall, it's very streamlined within Microsoft Word. Both Grammarly and ProWritingAid have integrations with lots of third-party apps. The main difference is that ProWritingAid requires you to install a separate extension in Chrome to enable Google Docs, but other than that, they have very similar app integration. Now we'll talk about pricing between the two. Grammarly offers 4 plans: an annual, quarterly, and monthly plan for their premium version. This is on top of their free version. They also offer a Grammarly business plan for business members. You can get 20% off with our discount code and link in the description. ProWritingAid, on the other hand, offers 3 different plans: monthly, yearly, and lifetime. And they're actually cheaper off the bat than Grammarly. But when you apply our 20% discount code, the yearly plan is actually $4 a month cheaper than Grammarly. And of course, there's the lifetime pass as well. You do have to pay extra, though, with ProWritingAid if you want plagiarism detection. So this works out to a more costly annual and lifetime fee as well. Now we'll look at the difference between the free and premium versions of both Grammarly and ProWritingAid. Here on the left side, I have a preview of what Grammarly Premium looks like for this demo article I've been using throughout this video. And on the right side, I have the exact same article using Grammarly Free. As you can see, there are far more suggestions, 53 in fact, for the Grammarly Premium versus only 9 for Grammarly Free. This is because Grammarly wants you to pay in order to become a better writer. So a lot of the suggestions in the premium version of Grammarly are a lot softer and more about improving your overall writing and clarity versus just purely spelling and grammar issues. As you can see from this table, the premium version of Grammarly offers suggestions for full sentence rewrites, word choice, tone suggestions, and plagiarism. So their whole suite is intended to make you a better writer, not just show you some common grammar and spelling issues in your writing. ProWritingAid also has a free trial. However, as you can see on the left side, where we're showcasing the free trial version, and on the right, the premium version, the free trial only analyzes the first 500 words. In order to analyze more and get more suggestions, you need to upgrade to the paid version. So this is where it falls flat compared to Grammarly, because although Grammarly gives you fewer suggestions in the free trial, it at least analyzes all of the words in your document. Now we're going to discuss which one's better. Grammarly and ProWritingAid are both great tools, and we're going to evaluate them on 7 different attributes. First, grammar and spelling tools. We give Grammarly a 5-star rating, and ProWritingAid a 4-star rating, primarily because ProWritingAid doesn't have as advanced capabilities of identifying grammar and spelling issues. The free version of the apps are also decent, but not exceptional. For this reason, we give Grammarly a 4-star rating and a ProWritingAid a 3-star rating because ProWritingAid doesn't offer very much capabilities with its free version. It only evaluates the first 500 words, whereas Grammarly, you can still use it to evaluate all of your writing and all the forms that you see on the internet. In terms of tone detection and suggestions, Grammarly does a great job, which is why we give them 5 stars. And we haven't really seen ProWritingAid excelling in this feature. So lots of improvement opportunities for ProWritingAid, but in this case, we have to give them 2 stars. Next, with full sentence rewrites, Grammarly does a great job with this. They provide a lot of useful suggestions and automatic rewrites for sentences, paragraphs, etc. So they get a 5-star for this category, whereas ProWritingAid really doesn't provide these types of suggestions. Occasionally, you'll see one where it recommends rewriting a sentence, but when we compared Grammarly and ProWritingAid side by side, as you saw earlier in this video, Grammarly does a much better job of this and identifies far more issues and far more ways to improve your writing. Plagiarism detection is a useful feature, especially if you have a team of writers or staff. And Grammarly gets a 4-star rating here compared to a 3-star rating for ProWritingAid, because as you saw in the demo, ProWritingAid didn't even detect the article from the website that I actually have it published on, whereas Grammarly was able to detect that the article is 98% copied. ProWritingAid also doesn't offer plagiarism detection out of the box, unlike Grammarly Premium. You have to buy another level of the premium version. Both Grammarly and ProWritingAid have great integrations with third-party apps. However, we had to give Grammarly 5 stars here solely because ProWritingAid is a little cumbersome with Google Docs, where you have to install a separate Chrome plugin. It's not just integrated with the existing Chrome plugin. And finally, price. This is the only category where ProWritingAid actually excels. They have a lower annual cost, and they have a lifetime license that you can get as well, where you can save a lot of money, especially if you use the 20% discount code that I've linked to in the description of this video. So which one is better? As you can see already from the table, Grammarly is the clear winner in most categories. And that's why we give Grammarly about a 4.5 star out of 5 and ProWritingAid about 3.5 stars out of 5. Grammarly offers a lot of ways to improve your writing and become a better writer overall. A lot more suggestions also on the grammar front, while ProWritingAid is the more affordable option. So if you're on a budget and you're okay with missing out on some of the writing improvement features, we'd recommend going with ProWritingAid. But if you really want to become a better writer and you're okay with the price of Grammarly, Grammarly is the obvious choice. Thanks for watching, and for more videos like this, please like and subscribe. Thanks.